Hello again. So we got the accounts merge exercise, and this exercise is pretty hard. I would say that's supposed to be a hard, not a medium. But okay, yes, companies, that's Facebook, that's and Google, Microsoft, Amazon, so pretty good companies that are asking that question. And the objective is to merge the emails by its name, and it can be merged when there are overlapping emails. So this is overlapping with that one by the name. So we are merging by the name, but there could be multiple same names, and we need to take a look at the overlapping emails in this. So in the result, this John and that John gonna be merged, but the last John won't going to be merged because Johnny Bravo is not overlapping with any of those emails. So that's the pretty hard question, and we need to tackle it. So first we would need to create some kind of a graph. The graph that will contain every connection between the email and the name, and other graph that would create a connection between the emails, so that we can navigate through the emails, the whole the family of emails, and we know which emails are connected to each other. So if this email is connected to this email, then this email should be connected to this email somehow, in some kind of way. We need to create that graph to emphasize this connection. Because this is the connection point, and we need to know that this email is connected to that email. And since we are going to have that mapping, then then we just need to go through the DFS, depth first search, and go through all the connections. So if we got this connection and this email connected to that one, and that one is connected to that one, so we're going to go through one mail to the second mail, and from this mail we're going to go to the right mail, and we got 3 mails. And since we know the connections between the concrete mail and the name, then we have an answer. That's pretty confusing, so let's jump into code. Probably the code will be even more confusing, so yeah, keep it up. Okay, so we start with the connection, the graph, the connection between the email and the name. So var email to name, and that's the new hash map from string to string. So from email to name, they're gonna be the simple connection, and var graph, let's say that's graph, this complicated graph, email to email graph, I would say, and that will be hash map string and list of string. So that would be the list of string. Okay, so one email like that one could have multiple emails connected to it. So that one and that one. So let's go through the initialization process. So var account, we're going through these all accounts. So this nested components, nested string, a list of strings. And now we're going to go through concrete components. So get size and I plus. Okay, and now if I is equal to the first element is always name, so we need to initialize that name. String name, let's go with the var name is equal to account.get 0 element. Okay, and if it's 0, then we're going to continue, because this is a name. We don't care about names here, we care about emails. So when there is an email, for sure we want to connect the email to name. That put the email, there's always going to be connection, one connection, so email and name. And now we want to connect this graph between each other, so we need to doubly connect it. So let's go with the graph that compute if absent. So if there's no email, and the email, I forgot to initialize the email, var email is equal to account.get of I. So there's an email, and this is not a 0 because we checked it, so it's always going to be an email. Okay, so let's jump into it, and we got email. If it's absent, then we are going to create a new array list, and the okay, add the first element of the, because we're going to connect to the first element, always to the first element, so we got the connection point. So let's go with the email dot first email is equal to account dot get of 1. Okay, so we need some kind of a connection point, always going to point out to one element, like the first email. Okay, first email, and now we need to connect this first email to the add of add of email. Okay, we got it. So that's the 3 graphs that we have. Now what we're gonna do with it, this is going to be pretty complicated, so now we're going to like depth first search from it. So first we're going to have some kind of hash set that will keep track of our redundancy checking. So that would be the hash set of a string that will check if we have already checked the email, the current email, and some kind of a result. That this is pretty good. Result is equal to array. Well, it's just like here, right? We need to get this concrete element. Okay, and now we're going to iterate through the graph, all elements from the graph. So that's going to be an email from a graph that key set. From the keys from all the emails that we have, this is string, we got all the emails. Okay. And now we need to check if we already have that element into the graph. If we didn't have it, then that returns we didn't have it. Then that returns the true. If we had it, then that means that that cannot be added, so it will return false. Okay, now we're going to push the emails onto the stack, so we can iterate through all the emails that are onto the stack, and if they're repetition, like redundancies, then we're gonna check these hash set if we already viewed that email, and if we didn't, then we're going further with the depth first search. Okay, so let's jump into it. Var stack is equal to new stack of string, and we also need to have a collection like grouped emails. Maybe I would say grouped emails is equal to new array list of string, and that would be our one result, like that one result, so one grouped email section. And now we want to iterate through, first of all we need to add something to this queue, so we need to add the email, and now iterate through all the stack that is empty. And if it's not empty, we are going to var element stack dot pop. So we're gonna pop it, and now we know that we have this first email from the first key set. And what we're gonna do with it, so probably you guessed it, we're going to go the rest of the emails from this hash set and go to iterate through those emails, and so on and so forth. So it looks like it's BFS, but it's really a DFS solution. Okay, so what we're gonna do here, so first of all we probably should group emails, add this email first of all, and then iterate through all the emails. So var I know how to call it, I already don't have elements, so maybe X. Okay, from graph dot get of element, and if hash dot add, if this element is already in the hash. If it's not in the hash, then we can safely add it to these to the stack and be prepared from the next iteration. So that's gonna be X. Okay, so we got the grouped emails, graph get, so iterating through all the emails. Now we're going to go, this stack is just added all the emails, and we're going to go further and further from the first element to the next element. Okay, from the last element, I would say, because we are popping from the stack. We're popping and then we're going through the next element, so that there is a node and we're going through all the nodes here, pushing to the stack, and this the last node we're going to the stack, and so on and so forth. Okay, at the end of it, they say that the emails should be in order, like sorted, and those names could be any order, so probably we should. And I totally forgot about, no, I haven't forgot about it. So collections dot sort, and we want to sort the grouped emails. Okay, and probably almost the last things we need to go is add at the 0th element the name of this guy. So probably what's it gonna be? It's going to be the emails. That's when that graph, that one comes into play. Email to name, and that's going to be the grouped emails, and that get of 0. So the first element, for sure we got that. And now, so we are here, and we want to add the this grouped emails into the results. Okay. Grouped emails. So we got it, and of course we need to return it. Results, and let's say probably I will get many errors. Let's see. Can't find a symbol. String. What? Compute if absent. Okay, what is going on here? Because this is a new. Okay, for sure. 39. Okay, email to grouped emails. Get 0th element, and cannot find a symbol. Email, put email, grouped email, that name, what is that? Not where's that? Not of course, because we need to get it. Oh, disturbing. Okay. And it seems like it's working. Let's see if it works. And yeah, it works. Pretty complicated. Let's wrap it up and see. So we got the one graph that is like reflecting the email to name that will be used at the end of the process. And we got also the graph, this complicated thingy that is handling the connections between one email that has a connection to the several emails, like this overlapping point. This is a overlapping point, so this email would have that one and that one email in this graph, and this email gonna have only that one in this graph, same as this one. This only gonna have only one graph. Okay. And then we are going to add the connection, like a doubly edged connection. This one is pointing to that one, and that one is pointing to that one. Then we're going to do the first search through it. We are using stack here. So we are popping off the last element, the last email from the stack, and we are just going through this graph through the email, and we are iterating through this email into the graph, like this list of graph. And if it's good, and if we haven't meet it already, then we get we're pushing it to the stack. And iterate further, and along the way we're adding this email so that we get all grouped up, all the emails that are connected to one email grouped up. And at the end we need to sort those emails, and at the end of the process just use this email to name hash map to get the real name of the guy. And then we're adding it to the results and returning it. That's easy peasy. I hope you enjoyed it. That's pretty hard question. That's probably not a medium, so that's probably take a time to understand. Yeah, if you learned something, give a thumbs up, subscribe, and see you later.